Save up to 50% off roller blinds, sheer curtains and vertishears at ABC Blinds mid-year makeover sale. It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
Good morning. Hello. Hi. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Having a good time already.
Have we done something wrong? Are we going well or what?
Who, you and me?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
It's just a stunning amount of guests in the show this morning. I always get nervous
Oh,
when there's this many guests. 'Cause
it's
like,
sort of an indication that we can't hold a show on our own.
Yeah, no,
I mean, they're
fill the
not
show.
wrong.
They're not. Actually, that's a good point. That's a very valid point.
All are welcome.
I'll tell you what, though. Tracy Vo and Tomo from 9 News coming up after 6:30 this morning because Channel 9's celebrating 60 years.
Oh,
But
that's
you know,
nice.
it's one of my TiVo. I don't know how TiVo's going to love this or hate this or all in the same. But we're going to play What Happens Next with them.
Oh,
right?
great.
Which is our game where we roll out part of a story and then we all have to sort of sit around and guess where this story might go. And usually they go places that'll knock your top off.
They're sweethearts,
They are.
and I don't think they're going to anticipate where it might go.
I can't wait to hear the reaction.
I mean, they're news people. They'll handle it very well, I think.
Yeah. So after 6:30 this morning, all right, we'll get on to that.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
Have a go at the guests that are in here, and we prepared something special, actually, through the Perth Symphony Orchestra.
Yes.
Take a listen to this. Celebrating 60 years. Channel 9 Perth. It's a must-see special television event tonight at 7:30 on 9, and you can also catch it on 9 now. Michael Thompson, Tracy Vo, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pete, Kymba. Nice to be here.
Good morning, guys. It is. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you. I mean, 60 years of Channel 9, and you guys have worked about 59 years of them.
I feel as though I have. Tina hasn't.
No. Tommy, you don't look it at all, by the way, as well. I mean, it's still looking great. It's amazing, you know, after what you've had.
Cut it out,
You've had like
Tino.
40 years in the media.
I've nearly been
media.
there for 40 years, so at 9. So I've been there for 2/3 of those 60 years.
Yeah, wild.
Which is scary.
Not scary, incredible in the media industry. Incredible. It's got to be one of the most fickle industries in the world, I reckon.
Isn't it?
Like,
It is.
But that's why we love it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that roller coaster ride, that excitement.
You almost-
Live.
yeah.
We're live now. You know,
Yeah.
live TV, live radio.
You almost get
it's exciting.
indoctrinated.
It gets in your blood.
yes, you do.
You can't escape media.
It's true. I mean, in that time, what if you guys got a blunder that you remember that you look back on and, like, you know, everyone will say, what was your big blunder? Hopefully just the
Gosh, the
one.
blunder.
Oh, you've got a few.
I think for me, probably the biggest blunder, which was most unfortunate. Do you remember Alan Bond, who owned Channel 9 for a while? His gift to the nation was the Endeavour replica, the ship.
Yes.
We telecast the launch of the Endeavour. It was a 2-hour special. Liam Bartlett hosted it. I was on board the Endeavour when it came off the slipway. Do you remember that? They had about 40,000 people at Freo. It was a huge event, huge. And it was time to the second. And Liam says, when we come back from this break, history will be made. This boat will be launched, the replica of the Endeavour. So it's set, for some reason, during that 3-minute break. Someone got the idea to break with protocol. Let's launch it now. So when we came back from the breach, didn't you know?
Oh, my goodness.
Tracy just gave a look like, what happened?
No, this really happened. Someone said, okay, let's go now. And the director's going, no. Bang. And this big ship slides down into the water. And we came back from the break as it was just sort of coming out onto
Drifting away.
Oh, my
Drifting under the
goodness.
water.
Sorry, guys, we missed it.
We missed it, so we had to replay it. So that was one which, you know, and people would say, what happened? Say, well, it was supposed to go at that time. It was all set. Someone
Yeah.
said go early, and they say, yeah, but you didn't get it. I said, well,
And it's
that's
hard
the
to
way it is.
believe
It's
because
live.
you just don't get miscommunications in an industry like this, do you?
We're in the communication business.
Yeah, it just never happens. But everything goes viral these days as well, right?
Yeah.
I think in recent times, you know, any blunder, you'll see it on repeat online or on YouTube. But I think one of the ones that I remember vividly, it was when we had our, the longer version of our Today Perth segments, and Lisa Fernandez was our weather presenter back then, and she was interviewing people who were lining up at the Apple store for the new
yes.
iPhone.
I remember
goodness.
this.
So she got the guy, she got a kid who got the first launch of the, latest iPhone. So it was very exciting. And she got him to open up the box. And then he dropped it live on air.
In front of everyone.
In front of everyone. And she swore. Of course she did. But that was a blunder moment. You're like, oh, I feel sorry for that. And hopefully, I don't know what happened to the phone, but hopefully it wasn't too damaged.
Well, the phone was cracked. I remember following this story.
Right.
It was cracked. And they had to give him a new one. I don't know whether they did.
But it went viral, didn't it?
It went viral. That went viral.
One of the early ones that went absolutely...
Shame.
It's a different game now, like 60 years. It's so different. And the phone, without doubt, for me, the biggest change has been the phone because everyone's a reporter.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, like if we're here and suddenly there was a crash outside and something dramatic, someone's going to get out there in 2 seconds and have their phone and start recording it. When the reporters get here, I got vision of that. And you're kidding, no?
Yeah.
Plus security cameras. We're in a world where just about everything is shot in some shape or form.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
You, over the course of your career as well, you've seen all the stories, all the big stories. Is there anything that's stayed with you to this day?
I reckon one of the big ones for me growing up through I went to high school in the western suburbs, and that was through the era of the Claremont serial killer. And so it was very obviously anxious times, especially being that age. And then you head out, you go out, get older, you go out in that area, and then get into this industry. And then I remember I was reading the news that night, and they had arrested someone over Claremont. And for me, that was just really...
It's like full circle.
Yeah, it really is, because it impacted me as going through high school into uni, and now finally, working out, or the police arrested someone at that stage. That was a huge news story locally for me.
Yeah.
And having to front it that night, it was quite incredible.
I think the pandemic's the biggest story because it went for so long and it affected the entire world. For me, personally, I remember 9/11 because I'd got home from doing the sport and we couldn't get hold of our two readers. There was something else on, but Stephen Pennells was our chief of staff, rang me and said, "Can you come in? There's something happening in the States." I got in there and I can remember we were going to break into program. ABC America was on and both towers had been hit.
Yeah.
And I remember I just wrote down some notes. I didn't want anything on auto cue and just and I can remember saying, it sounds and feels like a nightmare, but it's true.
Yeah.
And then we went to it. And I remember we all just sat there and watched it for about an hour and a half. And that was, New York. I can remember Peter Jennings, who sort of Tracy and I both seen one of the great saying, New York is under attack. It's just crazy to think that.
It's a timeless phrase, isn't it?
It really is.
Well, and I think just that testament to that, as you say, working live and seeing what unfolds.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a good segue to say we want you to stick around because we want to play What Happens Next, where you guys can sort of just guess where the news story is going to go.
Yeah, looking
No
forward
pressure.
to seeing your list pop off once you find out.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
Life can be so unpredictable, especially when that's the aim of this game. So we're asking, what happens next?
What happens next? Special edition today because we've got Tracy and Tomo from Channel 9.
Hey, guys.
Celebrating a massive 60 years. But we thought because you guys are so experienced with the news and the workings of the world, we thought if we play this game, What Happens Next, where we play you a little snippet of a story and ask you to guess where it's going, you're probably going to have the expertise to know exactly
dear.
what's taking
So-
place.
I've done
pressure's
this a
on.
couple of times.
Yeah.
It's hard. Tomo, I think you'll do quite well.
And we want you to know, Tomo, that producer Brooke puts these together. And there's no boundaries.
And then they are
Genuine
news
The
stories.
real deal.
They're real
Yeah.
stories, but they can be quite dark.
Out there.
Sometimes they
Okay.
go to places, so don't be afraid to just let your
keep
mind
going
wander.
down that
Yeah.
path. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I introduced Tiva to this when she filled in for you a couple
Yes.
of times while you were away. So
Yeah.
I can see the nervous
I
look
did
on your
feel the
face.
pressure, and it was difficult.
Here is our first story. Let's take a listen.
In 2006, a robber entered a comic book store armed with a pistol. The clerk was dressed as Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi for a Star Wars event. What happens next?
Okay. What happens
All right.
next?
I reckon Obi-Wan has pretended and tried to use the Force
Yeah.
to try and take the weapon.
Okay. I like that. Tiva?
I was going down that similar path, but Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
You can
probably
still
similar
go
path.
with it.
Yeah, I'm similar path as Kymba. I was thinking, obviously, you know, if someone knows the comic book store quite well and they would know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is, they can probably play with that character and
Yeah.
save the day.
Tomo?
I reckon he wasn't after the comic books. He wanted the Obi-Wan Kenobi suit and his lightsaber.
Oh, interesting. I reckon he's fought him off with the lightsaber.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a listen. This is what happened next.
He hit the robber with the toy saber and shouted, "You don't bring a gun to a force fight." Others joined in, and they all held the guy down until police arrived. The cops said it was the nerdiest successful citizen's arrest they'd ever seen.
Oh, fantastic.
That's brilliant.
The nerdiest.
So nerdy. He is super nerdy. Like, fights him off, but then
That's
also goes,
great.
this is an opportunity to use this line.
That is brilliant. All right, we have one more here. Let's take
Okay.
a listen to it. This is the story.
In 2014, a sweet elderly couple went viral after a photo of them holding hands outside a coffee shop made the rounds. People called them #relationship goals, and they were featured in local papers. What happens next?
Anyone?
I think it was maybe they were caught out. They weren't actually a couple,
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
and then they got exposed.
Yeah, I'm
Potentially
thinking,
having a bit of, infidelity or something like that.
I'm thinking they're not a couple either.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm thinking that maybe they're... I was going to say, it's getting a bit dark. Yeah, I think they're not a couple, but he's or just helped her up or something like that. It's a consoling hand,
Yes.
but it's not a relationship.
No.
I think they're not a couple and he's in the process of taking her hostage.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. So they did say older couple, didn't they?
That doesn't mean anything.
No, it
there are
means
plenty of
something
old
to
people
me.
you can't trust.
I reckon they found out they were both dead. So they actually, like they were sitting on there, right? And they'd gone for a nice, and then natural causes, and then like we're holding hands, and then that's how they passed away
Okay.
together on the bench.
wow.
Yeah, but somebody captured the photo, and the rest is history.
You've been
Okay.
right before. Let's see.
Let's have a look.
A journalist dug deeper and discovered the man was actually married to someone else. He and the woman in the photo had been in a 30-year secret affair. The viral attention exposed the affair, destroying 2 families.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not good. See, definitely not relationship goals there.
How's their form? The viral thing
Yeah.
destroyed
Destroyed
their
the
relationship. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that. I think it might be the 30 years of infidelity that did it.
Look,
There you go.
Tomo, Tivo, it's great having you here and celebrating 60 years, Channel 9 Perth. It is tonight, 7:30 on 9 and 9 Now. Always a pleasure to catch up with you both.
Wonderful. Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks, guys.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
We have the most amazing piece of audio here, particularly if you are currently in amongst the journey of IVF or surrogacy. This is a podcast you'd want to listen to. Amelia Oberhardt is the host of the new listener podcast, Secrets We Keep by Any Means.
It is a 6-part investigation into Australia's fertility industry, and it's from, the birth of IVF in the 80s to today's murky world, let's say, of anonymous donors, Facebook sperm groups, and international surrogacy.
Now, this is not to put a pall over the journey that you might be going through, but this is just remarkable, the things that she has discovered in an industry that presents itself as so successful, so light, so fluffy. Let's take a listen.
We hear a lot about IVF and about surrogacy and what the laws are in Australia and people finding it difficult to have children here because surrogacy is still altruistic in Australia, yeah? You can't get paid for it.
Yes. I mean, as I said, the title of the podcast is Secrets We Keep by Any Means. And why I ended up sitting on that title as the pick of them all was because what I realised was people would truly go to any means. Some people, not everybody, but a lot of people had innate desperation to have children, biologically or not, and they would really go to any lengths or any means to get that. And certainly when it comes to surrogacy is the real pointy end of the fertility industry. Altruistic surrogacy means without pay or compensation. So really you're just hoping that someone out of the greater good of their heart will put their bodies, minds through a full pregnancy and a birth in the idea of having absolutely no attachment or no control over that child they give birth to's life. And that's, I think, what pushes people into commercial surrogacy, or compensated surrogacy as they prefer it to be called, which is the international surrogacy trade, which has been riddled with scandal, and it's riddled with issues both ethically and financially. I mean, I could go on for days, but certainly one of the big things the podcast kind of identifies is the need to bring a compensated model into the country so that we're not putting Australian embryos and Australian lives at risk by using these clinics in developing countries with lack and or limited, therefore, of medical systems. Of a lot of the time, human trafficking plays a part. So these clinics are shut down out of nowhere. People don't know where their embryos end up. They don't know if their babies were born. I mean, it's riddled with also the exploitation to the women over there. And that's what our senior producer went to Colombia. And what she discovered was that these women were being hugely exploited. They were often being sent away from their own families into state or into countries to get, and put their own bodies at real risk for a very, very small compensated payment, which was never enough to drastically improve their lives.
One of the other topics that are covered, and we've covered this on our show as well, and I reckon one of the other podcast episodes, maybe you should have called it, "Oh my God, you can't be serious," because the Australian guys offering their sperm to people who want to have a child via social media.
Yes,
which is about as risky and unregulated as you can get.
I couldn't remember his name. We had a really interesting interview with him where I was shocked at how much he doubled down about this is such an easy process and we can just go on Facebook and we're all good to give you babies.
I mean, he's obviously Perth-based and an ex-tradie who, has developed the largest online platform for sperm marketplace, we'll call it, in which, Sperm Donation Australia has 21,000 members. And people go on there and advertise their needs and watch their DMs fill up, as, we interview him on episode 4. I mean, it's got to... I understand the need to go around the clinics, obviously with the amount of, problems that have arisen recently over, wrong embryos being implanted. And I mean, the IVF clinics are not short of a scandal. So I can understand why people skirt around it. They want more choice, more control, but it's completely unregulated.
So that's Amelia Oberhardt. Now, if that's piqued your interest, the podcast is on Listener right now, our podcast platform. It's called The Secrets We Keep by Any Means, a 6-part investigation into Australia's fertility industry. But what she's just referencing there is very, very close to us right now.
Yeah, this Monash IVF story is wild. Like 2 incidents in the last couple of months where people have ended up with the wrong embryo. Like, how? Surely it's more regulated than that.
Yeah, yep, you'd think so.
We're not just going to a cupboard or a fridge and taking something out and going, here you go.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
We just spoke to Amelia Oberhardt. She's the host of the new Listener podcast, Secrets We Keep by Any Means. It's a 6-part investigation into Australia's fertility industry. And this comes in the shadow at the moment of one of the most insane things that we're seeing in IVF, Monash IVF over in Queensland, and the mix-ups in terms of the embryos and eggs that are happening between couples. And what's the fallout that's coming from those mix-ups? It is next level.
I think the difficult thing is initially you've heard of these things happening at Monash IVF where there's been a mix-up of embryos and you think there's obviously some human error in there. Someone's done something wrong. Someone's taken something from a fridge or a cupboard and put it in the wrong person, which is unfathomable.
But it can happen.
But for me, it's how much further it goes than that. So the latest case is this patient whose own embryo was accidentally given to themselves, which doesn't sound as bad.
The fertility giant has admitted that last Thursday it transferred the wrong embryo to a client who was expecting to carry her same-sex partner's baby. The woman's own embryo was transferred instead, and while the woman is the biological mother of the embryo, it's not what the couple had asked for in their treatment plan.
So I don't say that lightly. I say that with the sense of going, at least it's her biological child. She wanted her partner's embryo so that the two of them could have this child together.
Yeah.
But it is her biological child. Because the story that happened from the same clinic just a couple of months earlier where they've just received an embryo that was somebody else's and it's not even biologically hers, that one's extra.
In this Brisbane fertility clinic, the unthinkable took place. After an embryo mix-up, a woman gave birth to a baby that was not biologically hers.
Traumatising for every family involved, and you would just can't understand how anything like that could possibly happen.
In early 2023, the clinic mistakenly transferred another patient's embryo to the birth mother. Sources say the child was born later that year. But Monash IVF says the error was picked up only in February this year after the birth parents asked for their remaining embryos to be transferred to another IVF company.
Imagine getting that phone call. I do not even know. I just couldn't even fathom what that must feel like to get that information that the child that you've given birth to and have been raising for quite some time, it wasn't your embryo.
But the thing is, like, these are people who are going in with a plan. So it's different when you've planned to adopt a child or you knew that you were using a donor for a different purpose or but when you've actually gone to a clinic and you've got a plan and you're saying this is what we're going to do, you are expecting it to be your baby, your genetic coding. Like, it just seems bizarre. But this is where that story blew my mind, is that, of course, there's another family involved because that family now, their embryo is gone because someone else has used it to give birth.
Sunrise spoke to a lawyer about what's happening since all of this has come to light. Take a listen to this.
Look, this is obviously a devastating situation for everybody involved. The baby will be subject to consideration by the family court unless the parents can come to an agreement as to custody, which obviously is just every parent's worst nightmare. Obviously, it's a very unusual situation. It is something that I would assume the parents will probably be seeking legal advice on.
A custody issue. So now we're going to have lawyers and other people sit and try and decide the future of this baby for these poor families. One family who hasn't got their embryo, and then the other family who have given birth and it's not biologically theirs.
And the baby caught in the middle of it.
Dreadful.
And I look at my kids and, we conceived naturally. They're my kids. But I look at my kids, I see my wife in our kids. Or I see myself in our kids. But it's not just that. It's the relationship that we have built through the hard times, the highs, the lows, all of that compounds into this relationship between us as father and son or father and daughters.
Yeah.
And just the idea of having to now have another family step in saying, we need to take this child away from you. Oh my
there's no
God.
winners.
There's nothing worse. I couldn't think of anything worse.
Yeah, it's really awful. If you do want to hear more about that listener podcast by Amelia Oberhardt, it's great. Secrets We Keep by Any Means. Check it out on the Listener app now.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
On Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins, it's yay or nay.
Oh, good morning, producer Rami.
Happy Thursday, guys. We've got a couple of yay and nays for you. First one, celeb relationships.
3, 2, 1.
Yay?
Yay.
Are we invested?
No.
Oh, yay.
Nah, couldn't care less. I don't care about anyone's
I expected
relationship,
that answer
really.
from both of you guys. Pete, who you invested in? Which celebrity?
Take your pick.
Take your pick.
Just take your pick.
Is there one that got to you?
Let's see. One that got to me. I was fascinated by Brad and Angelina.
I was just going to say, that's the one that broke my heart.
Yeah, me too.
I don't usually care for celebrity relationships.
But also, it broke my heart for Jennifer Aniston. But what was amazing about that one is that Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is the movie that they both appeared in.
Iconic.
And that's the one that everybody's like, this is the one where they clearly got together behind Jen's back. How do you? But that sticks in my mind. I don't know, for some reason, this is the relationship that sticks in my mind. And I kind of think this was the one that really kicked off people following the celebrity relationships, the joining of the names, all of that.
Not a bad
stuff.
There is only one relationship in the celebrity world I care about. Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll go. Yeah, no. Yep.
If Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick ever split up,
it's a classic one.
We should all give up on romance.
100%. I'm with you there.
Are they still together or not?
Yes, they've been together since 1988.
Wow. And they're amazing
and they're a great
too.
couple.
Yeah, they're incredible.
If anyone calls or texts right now and tells me they've split, I think I don't know what I'll do.
Oh, God.
I've been banking
better
on
not
them.
Google it then. Well, the reason I bring up celeb relationships is because the lovely Katy Perry, she's currently in Australia, about to come to Perth very soon, and she's currently performing sold-out shows in Sydney, right? A lot of the younger fans are losing their minds because apparently her and Orlando Bloom might have separated.
No.
So they've been together since 2016.
What are they basing this on? Because Orlando's not at the gig.
So what's happened?
Honestly,
right?
probably.
No. So apparently what's happened is a few hours before she hit the stage, news broke of this, rumours started swirling that they separated, and they're waiting for her world tour to finish to confirm the news and a joint statement. Then she went on stage, performed a song, a breakup song, and when she introduced the song, she was visibly upset, according to reports. And
did she say, this song's for you, Orlando?
No, she said, came out with a packet of Tim Tams.
No.
And said, this song is a breakup song, and this Tim Tam helped me get through it.
Oh, are you heartbroken, Rummy?
I didn't think I'd care.
But you do?
I don't know what it is about this, but I'll be devastated.
Yes.
Because they're... Okay.
You don't think you're going to care until it happens.
No, you know, Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick, I reckon, like...
Don't you dare put them in the same category as Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. They've been together for 6 minutes.
No, I have.
I've had
by
colds
comparison.
that have lasted longer than Katy Perry's marriage.
Sure, absolutely. By comparison, sure. But I was always of the opinion that this is one of those, like, they could be the next. You know what I mean? They've been around for ages. They look so good together.
God, guys, we spent so long talking about this. We've got an ad break.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
Good morning. It's the West Coast Eagles WA Freeze at Optus Stadium for the MND Big Freeze this Sunday. See FightMND.org.au to donate. Now, our own Kymba Cahill's going to be dunked on the day.
I switched between, yay, this is going to be brilliant, and what am I doing?
Can't wait.
Why am I doing it?
Dressed as Marge Simpson, by the way. Also, Rick Ardon from 7 News has been announced as another Dunkey, so you're in good company.
Great.
And a third very well-known West Aussie is going to be announced around about midday today, and then will be on our show tomorrow. So looking forward to that.
Excellent. Now, it is a fantastic charity, and Neil Daniher, I mean, has really brought all of this to light, right? Like, particularly for the MND sufferers, which has just been fantastic because they need the support.
Absolutely.
And Neil Daniher's daughter, Bec, she runs FightMND, an incredible charity, and she joins us this morning. Good morning, Bec. How are you going?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Oh, thank you so much for doing it. We so appreciate it.
Honestly, it's a true honour. I mean, you know, what you guys do is incredible, and this is a very small price to pay for the people who are suffering from MND and the pain that them and their families are going through every day. So this is nothing.
Oh, thank you. That's really lovely. It's amazes me each year when people are willing to accept the nomination and be involved in the big freeze and get frozen. But it's just making such an impact. Just seeing the MCG on Monday just reminds you how many people want to help.
This is a figure that's blown us away this entire time. The fact that over $115 million has been raised through this initiative. It is just mind-blowing.
Oh, year one, we wanted to raise $250,000. We never expected to be standing here and having raised that amount of money, but it allowed us to do so much more than we ever thought we'd be able to do, and we've just got to find a way to beat the beast. That's all we're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, Bec, your dad, Neil, diagnosed in 2013, given 27-month prognosis, which is likely and expected for most MND sufferers. We can't help but feel like your dad had a bigger purpose, that this had to come to light in the way that it has.
I think he's shown his true personality and true character, and I think so often when people are tested, that's when they rise to the challenge, and that's what Dad's done over the last now 12 years.
It's amazing.
It blows my mind. He told me back in 2013 that he likely only had 27 months to live, and that is the normal time that someone has when they've been presented with the MND diagnosis. And for him to still be here for Big Freeze 11, he's just got so much to give and so much more to fight.
Absolutely. And look, this weekend's going to be such an incredible weekend at the West Coast Eagles game. So the WA freeze at Optus Stadium for the MND Big Freeze. So fightmnd.org.au to donate. But the fact that Kymba gets a good dunking, Beck, you have no idea how long I've waited for this moment. I honestly, and have you been told yet what Kymba's going to be dunked as?
No, I don't know. What's
okay.
We
what's
left
the
it up.
costume?
We left it up to the people of WA to vote.
They are smart people, so I'm sure they've got a great costume idea.
So it's a great costume idea, but also I need to run something past you. Kymba's going to be going as Marge Simpson from The Simpsons.
Yes!
Yeah.
How good!
It's a classic.
That's amazing.
However, we're going to go the full extent and actually paint her, like yellow paint. Now, the thing that...
I was concerned that the water will probably go yellow.
It may, but it's all for a good cause, and whoever goes in next just gets to go into a yellow pool of water.
Oh, this is what I was... Okay,
so that's considered approval.
It doesn't matter where we put her. Like, it doesn't matter. She doesn't have to go last.
In anything like this, you have to go absolutely all in. So I think yellow is a must.
Great.
Fantastic. And there's a host of other stars that are going to be joining Kymba this weekend as well. The names that get behind this, Beck, you just must look at things like, you know, the big freeze at the G and then this one as well and just go, wow.
It humbles me every time I see the people that are willing to put their hands up to go and get dunked, go down a slide. Truly, so powerful. It means that we've got this ability to bring the community together. And Dad's always been the biggest advocate. He's like, you can't spell fundraising without fun. This has to be a lot of fun. We want people to smile. It's a grim topic. It's a tough beast of a disease, but we are going out laughing and enjoying ourselves. It means that we're fighting back and we're going to enjoy our time while we're doing it.
Please pass on our best to your father and your family and all the people and the volunteers that you pass through every single day that put on these incredible events and have put on something that has raised more than $115 million to this day and does so much work for such a horrific disease, mate. We can't thank you enough.
No, thank you. And the WA community have just been incredible supporters. Dad was diagnosed whilst he was at the West Coast Eagles, and to see them throw everything at it each and every year. They're the ones that when we first asked for help, they just said, yes, what can we do? So we're so appreciative, and we really hope we can see that Optus Stadium completely blue. We'll be selling beanies around the ground beforehand. So, you know, everyone come down and see Kymba get dunked. I know everyone wants to, so make sure you get to the ground because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I'll be bringing the yellow for the Sandgropers. We're doing this.
All right. Bec Daniher from FightMND, thank you so much for joining us. We'll speak to you again.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins. Best call wins. The best, the best, the best.
Best call wins. This time yesterday, we were talking on the show about e-scooters, asking you thoughts on, you know, what we should do with them, how we can make it safer, whether we should get rid of them, that kind of thing. And we got a text message from someone that said that their husband had an issue with an e-scooter, had an accident even. And the story was so funny that we just had to follow up.
Yeah, absolutely. So this anonymous person is on the line now. Good morning to you, Anonymous.
Hi.
Anonymous, what have you had to do for your partner?
Well, my partner, he fell off an e-scooter. It was a pretty bad accident, broke both his wrists, and he come off his bum.
That was so much for one sentence.
Yeah,
so
and you glided right over it.
He came off his e-scooter. So he's had an accident with his e-scooter and he has broken both of his wrists.
Yeah, both. Yeah, cast on both.
So he cannot wipe his backside. For how long?
Oh, look, if healing goes well, I'm hoping it's only for 8 weeks. Maybe I don't know.
How long have you been together, you two?
6 years.
6
and
years.
Married for 3, yeah.
Right. Okay. And did you through sickness and health and death do us part and all that sort of stuff?
Look, mate, it's not pleasant, but I took the vows. I've got a ring on my finger. Like sickness and health. Like kind of got to do it, right?
Yeah. I'd be careful with the ring on your finger. He clenches a bit too hard. That might come off.
Yeah, maybe I should start taking that off before we get to business.
I have this because it's wild. This right because for me, this isn't a big stretch because the 3 kids, I've seen it all. Like
No. Wiping a child's bum is very different to your partner, okay? Like, James and I won't even go near the bathroom when the other person's in it. It's like, door closed, none of this is for you.
But I imagine the technique would be very similar. Like, if I need to wipe Ollie's backside, I get him to bend right over, his head's between my knees. Is it the same... Is it the same for you?
Yeah, that's pretty spot on, Pete.
No, make it stop. Thanks, Anonymous. Wow. I'm mortified.
Hopefully, you got to do what you got to do. Just,
years ago, many years ago, I had an ex-partner who he rode a lot of motorbikes and I went pillion quite a bit on the back.
Yeah.
And he said to me one of the first times he took me on the bike, he was like, if we ever come off this thing, do not put your hands out to stop your fall, to break your fall. Because he said to me, if you break your wrists, there won't be anyone to wipe your bum.
Oh, goodness me.
And it stayed with me.
Yeah. Well, he's right. And there's a clear example of it. We want to know this morning, so this is a best call win, so we want your best stories on this. What were you forced to do for your partner?
And it could be anything.
All right, Vicky, tell us about this. Your daughter's helped you. What happened?
I got pushed over backwards playing netball, broke both my wrists at the same time. My daughters, 14 and 16 at the time, had to wash me, feed me, bath me, dry me, wash my hair, wipe my bum.
Did you have a few moments, Vicky, where you sort of thought, oh, this is just getting my revenge?
No, I just thought these girls are seeing far too much of their mother at this age than they need to.
Vicky. Oh, good on them for doing it, though. That's beautiful.
Good eggs.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, go ahead. What's your story?
Yes, my husband came home from camping one weekend and had a shower and came out and said, Joe, I need you to look at something. I think I've got a tick down below on my testicles. I said, oh no, do I really have to? I said, can't you just go to the doctor? He said, no, please, can you get... So I got the tweezers. He had to lie back on the big bed, put his legs right up in the air, and there was this tick. So,
Joe, well done.
You've got to be very careful. If you don't get the head out, it can be very dangerous.
I've heard the story many times.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
It's the West Coast Eagles WA Freeze at Optus Stadium for the MND Big Freeze. This Sunday, you can see fightmnd.org.au to donate. Now, we know, Kymba, you're going to be dunked as Marge Simpson.
I cannot wait. I've got the yellow paint ready to go.
A third well-known West Aussie is going to be announced around about midday today. They'll be on our show tomorrow. But joining us right now, the second famous WA person that has been announced as another dunkee, Rick Ardon. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to be here, and boy, am I looking forward to getting dunked with Kymba.
It's going to be the best.
Oh, it will be fun. It'll be cold, but it'll be good fun. I feel as though we'll be joining the Polar Bear Club. What do you think?
I do think that you're going to be better at this than me, mainly because you surf.
I do, all year round.
You get up all year round in the water. You're used to the cold.
In fact, a mate of mine and I are usually about the only ones out right through winter. We laugh because we surf a trig, and we paraphrase Don Henley by saying, my love for trig will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone, because we're the only ones out there.
It's true. Now, we were going to have you in the show yesterday, but things happened and you couldn't get here. Now, Pete tried to fill in as you. I don't know if you are aware of how much Pete likes doing a Rick Ardon impersonation. Have you heard it before?
No, I haven't, but I hear he is very good.
It's very good.
There's a job going for you at 6 o'clock. That's good.
Here's some of the gear he tried to throw out yesterday. Morning, Rick.
Good morning, Kymba.
How have you been? We haven't seen you in so long, Rick.
Great. How are you? And from all of us here at 7 News, good night.
That's very good.
That's very good.
Oh, see, he's going to try and use you as training.
Oh, very good. That's good. But look, it should be a great day. Now, you've said what you're going as.
I'm going as Marge Simpson.
But
Are you revealing?
I'm not meant to say what it is, but I will give you a clue. I love Seinfeld, and I know some of your listeners love Seinfeld
Yes.
too.
Oh.
So I'll give you a bit of a clue by saying a line from Seinfeld that it's going to be good Cape weather. It's going to be cool and breezy.
Oh, I know.
weather.
Good Cape weather, cool and breezy. I know who it is. I know who it
And
is.
it looks like it'll be the soak of the year. There we go. So
Okay.
Should be
Because
good.
we
I
know
know who
you
it is.
are a big Seinfeld fan.
I am. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
brilliant.
something else that happened, because obviously we needed to get Kymba into training. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know, have you've shaken Kymba's hand a few times?
I've kissed her a bit more than that.
Right, yeah, there you go, right.
I'll shake your hand. I don't kiss you so much. You could have at least shaved.
You're welcome, mate.
Yeah.
But Kymba's ice cold at the best of times,
Always.
right, with the extremities. Yesterday, we decided what we're going to do is we're going to get an ice bucket of water and get Kymba to dip her toes in it just to see how things would go. This is what happened.
No, it's like it's proper burning.
Oh, wow.
Ha! Ha, ha, ha.
All right, Kymba, what will we be wearing this
Oh, my
Sunday?
God, no. My feet. This is so I can't.
Maybe this will help.
It's excruciating.
You didn't handle it well.
It's more painful than people think. Now, I want you to think of the coldest day you've ever spent in the ocean. That's not even close.
Right.
It's not. Until you have actually been immersed in ice cold water, you do not know how painful it is. Your body goes into shock.
Are you partial to an ice Oh, Rick.
Rick's got...
I am.
He just threw ice at
Because
me.
we, of course, do have an ice bucket here, and Rick has taken the ice and thrown it at Pete. Rick, would you be prepared to dunk your feet in just to see how it feels?
Of course. In fact, I prepared for this. I had a cold shower.
Get out.
And, well, I surf in winter, so I'm sort of used to it. This will be interesting.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I was thinking of Pete in the shower. I couldn't say Kymba on here in the shower. I was thinking of Pete was having a cold shower. So there we go. So, yeah, ready when you are.
Okay, because I feel like with this dunk, I'm going to get in, I'm going to get dunked, and I'm going to get out as fast as I can. They tried to immerse my feet in this yesterday. Pete tried to afterwards, and he didn't quite last 20 seconds.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I say good luck, Pete. I say good luck, Rick, but get those feet,
Here we
get
go.
those tootsies
And
in
we're
that
in.
water.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, give it a second, mate.
Yeah, hang on, mate, because I was in there yesterday as well, and I reckon I got through about 7 seconds before it started to get painful.
Nah. This is no different to, say, yelling up in
immersed.
winter, I reckon.
Are you serious? You're taking
Yeah.
this very
He's
well.
immersed up to the calves.
That's
I'm
all
like,
right.
what is going on?
That's all right.
Can you feel
Used to
anything
that.
below your ankles?
Yeah,
How
it's
are
fine.
you not feeling this?
Just used to it, I guess.
Just used to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Mate,
good fun.
okay. Rick's a robot. Something's going on, guys.
No,
How
no.
can you not feel this?
Oh, I can feel it, but it's okay.
That's
Mate,
amazing.
I honestly felt like frostbite was kicking in immediately and I was going to have my legs cut off. It was insane.
That's fine. It's
All
good.
right, well, we're going to just sit here and see
All right.
how long you go for.
We can do that.
good.
Funnily enough, I'm having a warm cup of tea at one end while the ice is coming to the other end. So cheers, everybody.
He's so zen.
This is
Oh
amazing.
my God, Rick, this is a walk in the park for you.
That's fine. It's good.
Wow.
Just rattling them around.
Would
a bit.
Sue do this? Would Sue put the
I gather so,
tootsies
for
in
charity.
there? Yeah.
Wow.
I can't get over
he's
this.
so calm. I don't know what to do. I'm so impressed.
Yeah. I guess that's it, really.
Well,
isn't
Pete,
it?
next time you do a Rick impersonation, you're going to have to just do Zen Rick.
I know. Pass me over the bucket.
Very good.
Hey,
That was Pete, by the way.
hey, Rick.
Yep.
I can't wait to see your outfit.
Yep.
When you get dunked this weekend, because I know. So I'm waiting for it to be confirmed because I recognise the Seinfeld lines.
Yeah. Oh, can I finally say, I can say what I've been there. I was in the pool.
It is the West Coast Eagles WA Freeze at Optus Stadium for MND Big Freeze this Sunday. See fightmnd.org.au to donate. Rick Ardon from 7 News. Great to catch up with you.
Welcome. Look forward to it.
Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins. 6 to 9 weekdays. Save up to 50% off roller blinds, sheer curtains and vertishears at ABC Blinds mid-year makeover sale. Book a free measure and quote at abcblinds.com.au.